Hey, Jeff and Sally, thanks so much for joining us today and doing this with us. This poolside chat we've been doing for a little while, and I wanted just to take a few minutes to thank you for being such great clients. But I just wanted to ask you a couple questions, just talk to you generally about the experience of the pool. Now, we were talking off camera a little bit. It's been 12 years now. Can you believe it?
Unbelievable.
12 years. Now, I mean, I look at the pool here, and I mean, I'll be honest with you. It looks as good as the day it was put in. Would you tend to agree that the finish and everything else has held up?
100%, absolutely. For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't stress enough, not only the pool, but the decking, the equipment, the surroundings, everything that goes on underneath the obvious. It's all intact. It's all there. We couldn't be happier.
It's still perfect.
It's still perfect, and
Yeah.
it's we're living the dream every day.
Yeah. Well, it really looks amazing, and sometimes I don't get out to see clients' pools as often as I would like to. So, for me, seeing your pool now after not seeing it for a little while, it's amazing how good it looks. Even the tile and the grout and everything else about it really looks remarkable for 12 years, because you know what weather does over time.
We had such a variety of colors to choose from, and the one we chose, I personally feel it's perfect. And I really enjoy the tile that's at the top. It gives it that little extra punch, and it's a beautiful pool, which we love.
Yeah, yeah, and that's really what it's about. And I heard you talking earlier, and we've become friends, right, since we did this pool, Jeff and I, and Sally and Edith and my wife. But hearing the stories, because when this pool was built, I remember your kids, of course, were 12 years younger, right? Nick was still, I don't know if he's in high school or what, but I think he was still living at home, maybe. Anyways, and to see now your family grow, and your daughter now is married, she has 2 grandchildren, right?
Right.
And having them over and enjoying the pool, to me, that's the bigger story sometimes behind all of this, right? Well, it's great for you guys. I think as we get older, and if we've been blessed, that it's all about kind of giving back to somebody else and creating those, what I call moments and memories.
Absolutely.
Right? Those times that you can capture and make that a memory in your, and without a pool to create those memories, you might have to find some other means, but now you have it.
Yeah, there isn't much more happiness you can achieve as seeing how happy your grandchildren are using that pool and the spa, and just the enjoyment in their eyes and their actions.
Well, Clancy, they stay with us for a couple of weeks during the summer, actually.
Yeah.
And when they're up at 7 o'clock in the morning, they look outside into the pool, and they just sit there and wait. And we say, okay, by 8:30, 9 o'clock, let's go swimming. I mean, they're swimming in the pool early in the morning.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And they'll stay in there all day long.
All day long.
They love it. It's
Yeah.
great.
They get out to hopefully take a nap, and then once they wake up, they're back in there.
Right back.
Right.
And the nice part about the spa is that if it's a cool day, or we got some clouds, and you want to warm up the water in the spa, they're in there the whole day, because the water's warmer and it's like bath water, and
Yep.
and they enjoy it. So
Yeah.
that alone, seeing your grandchildren's faces of happiness is the best
And
ever.
learning to swim.
And learn to swim too.
Yeah.
They're learning to swim.
Yeah, that's important, because a lot of people don't, believe it or not, there are a lot of adults out there who wouldn't admit this, but don't know how to swim, and it's because they just never learned, right? And it's like many sports or other things, right? It's something you'll never forget. If once you learn how to swim, you'll always remember that, right? So if you were in the water, in the ocean, or a pool, you don't have that fear, if you will.
But you brought up a good point, because you mentioned our son Nicholas and our daughter Tori, and they were still with us when we ended up getting the pool and the spa, and we pretty much did it for them as a family, and now we're seeking more rewards because we're doing it with the grandchildren. So it's just been continuous happiness, and it's been a home run.
Yeah. So I know, as I said earlier, Jeff, you and I have become friends, right? We've golfed together, we've traveled together. And I know every time I've talked to you, you have expressed to me how much of a real life changer that this has been, particularly the hot tub, right? Being able to take 10 steps from your finished basement to the hot tub and relax at night has been amazing for both you and Sally in lots of ways, right?
It's, a life changer is probably an understatement. It's been that huge of a thing for us. I mean, we would have never guessed it, how much it would have changed our lives once we did it. And now that we're experiencing it, and it's been over 12 years, we've got such great satisfaction and happiness. And it just continues to get better. That's the nice part, is that as we get older, we're using the hot tub more, the spa,
Yes. Absolutely.
and it's mind and body.
Right,
It's
right.
wonderful, and it's things we never thought of 12 years ago,
Sure.
and we're actually seeing that more today as we get older.
Yeah.
So it's just been a great experience, and Clancy, we've been dear friends now for over 12 years. It's easy for me to do this because we've experienced it. We've lived it. And I said before is trust. Trust is the most important thing you can have in a business relationship or in a friendship.
Right,
And if you don't have trust, you have nothing.
right.
So that, above all, is the most important thing,
And
for sure.
someone you can rely on.
That's right.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah,
Well,
we do
thank you.
appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in a time, as you did as well, I'm sure. My dad always told me, your word is everything, right? A man's word is everything, right? So I've always believed that if I say I'm going to do this, or if I commit to you something, I am going to do it because I've made that pledge and that promise. So that to me is just what I was taught to do as a very young person growing up, and I'm sure maybe you were as well.
Absolutely.
With newer generations, maybe a little different, but with me, it's really easy.
Yes, it is.
So
And it shows.
yeah, well, thank you.
There's nothing better than being genuine. And that's what life's all about. So
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
So one final question, I suppose, is that you talked earlier about, and I think this is important for the people who are going to view this, who one of the very common questions that we get with our swimming pools is, can they be installed in areas where there is groundwater or water table, as we know it, right? And so, as you know, as well as I do, your backyard has a pretty significant amount of water table. It just cannot be gotten rid of. It's there. And maybe you could just explain a little bit about the advice that I gave you and how we were able to overcome that to safely put a pool in so that it survives that sort of water table from doing any catastrophic damage.
that was the major hurdle that we thought we needed to get over, is that with our high water table, would we even be able to put in an in-ground pool, not only a fiberglass pool, but an in-ground pool. So when we talked to Clancy and his crew and his company, and they came in and did all the legwork in digging the hole and investigating this, investigating that, and gave us the advice of it can definitely be done with proper drainage, the whole bit and the whole 9 yards. It gave us such satisfaction that, okay, I think we'll be able to do this. Other companies couldn't do that. I mean, that was the key. That's one of the things when I get back to trust is when somebody tells you that something can be done, and sure enough, it can be done, there's nothing better. And I don't know how many times that, people go through unfortunate circumstances where they're promised something and it doesn't come about. So that was very, very, the most biggest hurdle we had. And, still today,
Yeah.
all we need is, we maintain a water level in our drain there that, when we get a lot of water and it raises the water, we pump it out with our siphon, and we maintain a 2 or 3 foot water level. And we do the same for another drainage on our other side here on our dry well. And everything is perfect. Everything drains out accordingly. The pool stays grounded. 12 years and no problem, and we couldn't ask for anything more. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, listen, thank you. I think that probably wraps it up. I could ask a lot more questions, but we want to make it somewhat brief. But I wanted to thank both of you very much for allowing myself and our production team to come out here and do this little poolside chat. And thank you very much once again.
It's easy.
Jeff,
It's our privilege.
thank
you know?
you very much,
Thank
Sal.
you.
I love you. Thank you so
welcome,
much.
It's our
Clancy.
privilege.
We love you too.
Yeah.
Are we still on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to mention that the woman behind Clancy is the real deal, okay? If it wasn't for Edith, his wife, okay, Clancy wouldn't be half the man
She's a
that he is.
sweetheart.
So for anybody to see this, and if it does air, okay, Edith is the reason for the success of this man. Thank you.